YouTube. Today in the Naughty Librarian, I am doing a book outlet book haul. First of all, I'm filming in the morning again. I can't justify having wine at 10 in the morning, so let's go with coffee. After Christmas, Book Outlet was having a sale, and you know what? I hadn't been on Book Outlet in a while, so I was like, okay, I see you, Book Outlet. I'm gonna see what you got. And their sale thing, if you spent $50, you get $15 off, which makes you $35, which makes you get free shipping. So, it's kind of a fun game for me to see how close I can get to $35 to get free shipping, but not go over $35. I think the best I ever did was $35.14. So, I'm a champion. But in this case, I could spend $50 and it would only cost $35, so, I took advantage. I really took advantage. This is very heavy. It is a very large box. So let's just get into this. Okay, got my scissors, my monster box. Let's go. Okay, so like I said, if you spend $50, you get $15 off. So my total today was $35.86. That's pretty good. I always try to get close to as $35 on the nose, because I'm getting free shipping, damn it. So that's pretty good. Didn't even go to 36. Excellent work. First book in the box was A Kata Wish by Nnedi Okorafor. I might have slaughtered that name and I feel bad, but I'll try better later. I've been meaning to read this for quite a long time, and then I happened to see it on Book Outlet and I was like, heck yes, please give me right now. It's a really interesting concept, and it is about a girl who was born in West Africa, I believe Nigeria, and then she grew up in New York, and she is African American, but she is also an albino. And as she grows up, she starts realizing that she has magical powers, so she kind of goes to magic school, and she has to hunt down a magic criminal. So it's kind of like African Harry Potter, and I'm way into it. And I've been wanting to read it for so long, and I was so happy I got it on sale, so yes, must read. The next book in the box is Berserker by Makebelieve. I'm going into this not knowing a super lot about it, but I knew I wanted to read it, and it's basically a Western but with Nordic mythology, and I was like, yes, why aren't those always together? It a lot of Nordic mythology really lends itself to a lot of the Western stories. I feel they kind of go together because a lot of the Nordic gods are kind of messed up and outlawy. So I was like, okay, Makebelieve, I see what you're doing. I'm into this. Also, the cover is stunning. It's bloody, it looks westerny, I'm way in. It's basically about these family, but their mother and father are dead, so there's just the kids. And this is about this girl who is a berserker, so when someone threatens her family, she goes into a berserk killing rage. So I feel like she's a girl after my own heart. I'm really excited to read this one. Next up, I have A Madness So Discrete by Mindy McGinnis. And I bought this mainly because Leanna from Leanna's Library keeps saying how amazing it was. And I read Mindy McGinnis's other book, of The Female of the Species, and I did really like that. So from her writing style in that book, I want to see how she does it with this. And I know it is about a girl who is put into a mental hospital, a long time ago, Victorian era, I'm assuming. And really, women got put in mental hospitals for a numerous amount of reasons, one of which is she reads too many books. It was not a good time for women, let's just be real. So she gets put into a mental hospital. She is obviously not insane. I believe it is because she's pregnant. So I am way into it. I liked Mindy McGinnis, and I don't know, it's vicious feminism is how to describe her other book. So I kind of want to see how she does with this. And I've heard good things, so I got it. I was excited. Next in the box is Caravelle by Stephanie Garber. Mainly because I keep seeing things about Caravelle everywhere, and I think the last book is either already out or is coming out soon, and I don't know, I keep hearing about it, and I got it for really cheap, so I was like, okay, let's do this. I think it's kind of like a sister story, and there's like a Caravelle that comes to town, and there's these two sheltered sisters, and they want to go. But the Caravelle is like spooky, and like one sister has to save the other. Like that's really all I know, but I do know it is very popular. So I'm kind of, it was a hype buy. Like this is a hype buy, but I mean the cover is very pretty, so it's got that at least. I also picked up Jacobi by William Ritter. This is another recommendation from Leanna in Leanna's library because I know she loved Jacobi so much. And I just happened to find it on the website, so I was like, okay, I'll like try it out. I got it for like, I think like $3 or $4, so it's definitely worth $3 or $4 of an investment. It is about a like paranormal PI named Jacobi in like turn of the century New England, and he hires this girl. This girl comes over and she's like brand new, fresh off the boat, and she hires her to be his assistant. And I believe she is the narrator of this, and they have to catch a serial killer who is probably a creature. So all of that sounds amazing. I really didn't know what this is about. I didn't know it had a paranormal element. Like I really thought this was just gonna be like Jack the Ripper-y kind of stuff, you know what I mean? Where like it's like crime, but it's like real people doing it. I didn't think it was gonna have a supernatural element, so that kind of just ups my interest in this like even more. Next up, I have Winter Spell by Claire Legrand. Claire Legrand is like a must-buy author for me going forward. Like I have to have all of her books. I read both Furyborn and Sawkill Girls in 2018, and Sawkill Girls was my favorite book of the year. Like, dear Lord. So I don't have Winter Spell yet, and I really wanted to read it, so I found it on Book Outlet, and I was like, yes, please. Thank you very much. Basically, it is a dark, stabby retelling of the Nutcracker. And I was like, dark and stabby Nutcracker? Like, why would you not want to read that ever? And I mean, I like the Nutcracker. I've seen the ballet before, so I'd want to know how it's gonna get dark and stabby. I mean, there's the Rat King, so that could be stabby. I could see that being stabby. Anything Claire Legrand writes, I'm probably gonna like. It's just her writing style it's like hooked me. So I really want to check this one out. It is kind of a Christmas story though, so I don't know when I'll read it. I don't want to have to wait until next Christmas to read it, so who knows? Maybe I'll have like Christmas over summer or something. I don't know. I'll read it whenever the hell I want. I can read Christmas books but not Christmas. The next book in the box is The Veil by Chloe Neal. I picked this up because I like Chloe Neal's other series, which is the Chicagoland Vampire series, and this is separate. It's this is Devil's Isle, so it's a different series from her. Okay, I'm just gonna read like the little like first line of the blurb here because it tells you everything you need to know. It says, 7 years ago, the veil that separates humanity from what lies beyond was torn apart, and New Orleans was engulfed in a supernatural war. Now, those with paranormal powers have been confined to a walled community that humans call the District. Those who live there call it Devil's Isle. I love it already. Basically anything that takes place in New Orleans is like slightly cooler to me because New Orleans is like my favorite place. So I saw it, it was Chloe Neal, it's supernatural, it's New Orleans, I'm down. Whatever it is, like I want to read this. This sounds amazing. Next up, I got Accidentally on Purpose by Jill Shalvis. I read Chasing Christmas Eve by Jill Shalvis over Christmas, and I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun, fluffy romance. It was funny and smutty, and it had everything I wanted it to be, and it's actually a series. It's a episodic series, so you don't have to read the books before it or after it to enjoy a single book of the series. And I wanted to go back and see the other characters that I met in book 4. So this is book 3, and they just happened to have it on Book Outlet for like $2, so I was like, yeah! This is Elle and Archer, and you do meet them in book 4. Elle is very business all the time. I'm a businesswoman. And then Archer is like, I'm a security expert. And I was like, that is like rom-com gold. Oh my gosh. It's always like that. It's like, oh, I'm a tough businesswoman. He's like, oh, I'm a macho guy and I like defend people. And then like they bang the bejesus out of each other. Like that's always how it is in a romance. And like, I'm not complaining. Like I'm such a sucker for it. So I want to read it. They're delightful rom-coms. These 6 books are all historicals, and I just grabbed a bunch because I'm still hunting for my next Tessa Dare, damn it. So I got a boatload of historicals. First off, I have While the Duke Was Sleeping by Sophie Jordan, and it does have a smutty tab, which I always enjoy. Ooh, that's a smutty tab. Ooh, like he's got long hair and stuff. I'm into it. I love smutty tabs. They're the best. They're the best. Oh my gosh, rom-com gold. Okay. Shop girl Poppy Fairchurch knows it's pointless fantasizing about the Duke of Attenbury. Like, a duke and a shop girl? Yes. Still, dreams can't hurt, unlike the carriage Poppy spies bearing down upon the unsuspecting Duke. After she pulls him to safety, the Duke lapses into a coma, and Poppy is mistaken for his fiancé. But one person isn't fooled. His arrogant and much too handsome half-brother, Struan, oh gosh, he has a weird name, Struan Mackenzie. And soon Poppy isn't sure what she wants more, the fantasy of her Duke or the reality of the smoldering Scot who challenges her at every turn. And I'm like, okay. So this is a retelling of While You Were Sleeping, I'm assuming. That rom-com from the 90s. I never seen that rom-com, but like I understand the premise of it. It's Sandra Bullock. She was like a rom-com darling back in the day. And so I don't know. I could be into it. I haven't tried Sophie Jordan yet, so let's try Sophie Jordan and see how this goes. Next up, I have Forbidden by Beverly Jenkins. I read my first Beverly Jenkins story in December, and I did want to read more of her works, and I really wanted to get another book because I want to read this in February, and so I got Forbidden, which I've heard pretty good things for overall. Like, from several people who've read it, they've always said they liked it a lot, so I was like, yes, bye. This is a story of Ryan and Edie, and Ryan attributes a lot of his very successful businessman status to the fact that he can pass as white. And then he meets Edie, and I think he saves her life, and Edie owes him her life, and they have like an attraction to each other, but she sees him as a white person, so it's forbidden, and I'm into it. Like, I really want to read a story like this, because I haven't before, so this one is definitely on my TBR list for February. Next up, I have Falling into Bed with a Duke by Lorraine Heath. And smutty tab. Ooh, that's a good smutty tab. Like, that's a bodice ripper. I'm into it. Also, like, the title is very suggestive, so I just got this one hoping for smut. At least I'm honest. This actually seems kind of interesting. It's about this woman, Minerva, and she has had several unsuccessful seasons, so she is just like, fine, I'm a fucking spinster now, whatever. And apparently there's this club where women go and they wear masks and they get to pick a dude to fuck. So there's like a sexy club, and she's like, oh, well, I'll just do that because no one's buying what I got. I might as well just enjoy myself. So she seems cool. And one of the men in this club who's offering his services is the Duke of Ashbury. Funny enough, I've seen the Duke of Ashbury in other historical romance novels, so I don't know if the Duke of Ashbury was like a real title or not, but like I've seen the name before. Anyway, Duke of Ashbury kind of figures out that the lady he's been screwing is Minerva, and then like he's like, oh, I like you, let's get together, and then there's more sexy results, and I'm assuming drama, and then like they get together and it's okay. But like, that sounds guaranteed smutty. She goes to a boning club, like, I'm in. Please don't let me down, Lorraine Heath. Like, I need another Tessa Dare. I also picked up My American Duchess by Eloisa James. And let's see their smutty tab. Smutty tab! That's a decent smutty tab. I like her dress at least. So I'll be honest, I haven't had the best of luck with Eloisa James so far, but I did pick it up because it said My American Duchess. And you know what? I've read a lot of historicals like Regency England, and there's no Americans over there yet. So I wanted to see a story with an American in it because I haven't read a lot of like American historical romances. So that's why I grabbed it. It's about this duke who's like, oh, I'm gonna marry a nice English girl, it's all good. And then he meets this like captivating American heiress, and she's like left two dudes at the altar already. She's kind of a wild child, and then like love. And this is like gonna be my second chance for Eloisa James because I've read some of her books and I didn't like them that much because they're very courtly, and I'm not into courtly. And from reading the back of this, like, all of a sudden I'm like, oh no, like, I feel like this is gonna be courtly again. So if it is, that might be, like, the final nail in the coffin, but if it's not, then hey, maybe I'll try more out. I also picked up The Girl with a Make-Believe Husband by Julia Quinn, mainly because I thought the title was funny. It's about this girl named Cecilia, and her only family she has is her brother, who's off fighting in the colonies, so I'm assuming this is Revolutionary War era, and he's injured. So she assumes he's orphaned now, and the only, like, thing she can do is, like, go be a spinster with her aunt or marry a cousin who's, like, scheming, and I'm like, you shouldn't marry your cousins anyway, so it's probably best she does neither of those things. She goes to America. She's like, I'm gonna find my brother and nurse him back to health. And she doesn't find her brother, she finds her brother's best friend. And he's unconscious, so she's like, I'm gonna nurse him. And the only way they're gonna let her stay is if she tells a little lie, says, oh, well, I'm his wife. And so now she's an imaginary wife to this guy, and she's nursing him back to health. He has amnesia, and he wakes up, he's like, I don't remember getting married to you, but I guess we're married now. So, I don't know, it's a little, it's odd. I don't know how I feel about that premise, but I know it's a rom-com. I'm hoping for the best. I did read one Julia Quinn book and I wasn't necessarily thrilled with it, but like I'm willing to give many authors second chances, so I'm doing this one. To close out this book outlet haul, I have How the Duke Was Won by Lenora Bell. Honestly, I don't think the cover is printed well because unless you're really close, you can't even read like the words on it. It definitely seems like a rom-com. It's kind of a little bit of The Bachelor. It's basically there's this Duke. He needs a wife for, you know, like a wife of convenience. So he invites these 4 ladies over the course of like a 3-day weekend or something, and he's just like, okay, duke it out. Whoever I pick at the end is my wife. Which is a little scumbaggy, but okay, whatever. The love interest in this is Charlene, and she is posing as her sister, because I don't know why the sister doesn't go, but she poses as a sister, and she goes there to, like, get the Duke involved with her for her sister somehow. I don't know how exactly that's gonna work when she's, like, seduces this guy to pick her, and then the sister shows up, okay, so now we're married. He's like, what? I married the other one. So I don't really know how they're like planning on that working out in the end, but I don't know. It's a little like scummy of like a setup, but like the blurb on this is written in a really comedic way, so I think I might actually like Charlene a bit. She seems like a fun lady, so I don't know, I'm giving it a chance. And that's it. My box is empty. So I was really proud of that sale, because basically I got $15 off, so I got like several of these books like for free basically. So I'm pretty much a champion at this point. Let me know in the comments down below, have you read any of these books? If so, which ones were your favorites? Which ones were your least favorites? Which ones, especially the historicals, like if you've read them, let me know if you think I'm gonna like them, because like I'm having a hard time with some of them. If you like this video, make sure you give it a like. And if you want to see more videos, make sure you subscribe. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye!